I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
The Bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. And before we get started with the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, first, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show. And once you're good and educated about the show, once you click on that merchandise tab, take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, our pride logo t-shirt, all of our different special event t-shirts, and so much more. All the gimmicks you've come to know, love, and expect from Renegades of Puck are all still available in our online store. Whether that is socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, makes no difference to us. Something like 88 different items in our online store. Best said, we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this independent hockey operation, so here's how you can support the Renegades of Puck. You can find us on X and Threads. You can find us on TikTok. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram. So please, wherever it is that you prefer as far as social media goes, follow us along on that platform. It would go a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it certainly doesn't take you very much time to go ahead and do that. YouTube is what we're pushing the hardest right now here during this particular promotional segment. So please go to YouTube and search out Renegades of Puck, subscribe to the channel, and then click on those notification buttons so that you know when the latest episode of the podcast is out. We have full episodes of Renegades of Puck TV right there on our YouTube channel. We also have all of our very easy to utilize playlists with recaps, previews, interviews, and all of our different analysis segments right there on our YouTube channel. So again, we would appreciate if you would subscribe to that YouTube channel today. Venmo, that's how you can support the show financially. Just go to Venmo and search Renegades of Puck or scan the QR code that's currently on your screen. Every dollar goes a long way to helping the operation known as the Renegades of Puck, so if you can spare it, we sure could use it, especially as we're getting ready for the summer changeover between seasons. Whether we're still here in the bunker or not next season really, truly depends on the level of support we're able to collect over the next couple of weeks and months. So please, if you like the show and you want to support the show and you want the show to stick around, make a donation to Venmo today. Now listen, I know it's time for the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. Time for operation number 909. That's right, time for show number 909. And at this moment in hockey history, what started as a best-of-7 series, then turned into a best-of-5 series after 2 games, was 6 seconds from turning into a best-of-3 series, but the Nashville Predators could not lock down Game 4 against the Vancouver Canucks. So let's recap the entire series to this moment, then tell you what's to come, and then get into the analysis. Game 1 was a 4-2 victory in Vancouver by the Canucks. Joshua picked up the game-winning goal in that game. Game 2 was a 4-1 victory by the Nashville Predators in Vancouver. The series tied at 1 apiece. After that, the game-winning goal went to Philip Forsberg. In Game 3, back in Nashville, the Preds fell on home ice 2-1, leaving the Vancouver Canucks to lead the series 2-1. Besser got the game-winning goal in that game. In Game 4, it was 4-3 Vancouver in overtime, giving Vancouver a 3-1 lead in the best-of-7 series. The game-winning goal going to Lindholm. So that leaves us here previewing Game 5, which will be taking place on Tuesday evening in Vancouver. Late start. Game 6, if necessary, will be on Friday, and Game 7, if necessary, will be on Sunday back in Vancouver. So the best-of-7 series now in control by the Vancouver Canucks, 3-1 after 4 games. Let's get into the analysis. Let's get into the numbers for the series, and then we'll go to the Reverse Sports full game recap, box score, and so much more. Shots on goal for the series after 4 games. 98 for the Nashville Predators, 71 for the Vancouver Canucks after 4 games. Blocked shots are at 65 for Nashville, 59 for the Vancouver Canucks. The hits category, a substantial amount of hits have been delivered through 4 games in this series. Vancouver leading in this particular category, 148 to 128. When it comes to the power play, the Predators have suffered a power outage throughout this entire round. Through 4 games, only 1 for 15 on the power play, and they have not picked up a goal since Game 1 of the series. The Vancouver Canucks are 2-for-11. They have not scored a goal on the power play since Game 3 when they scored both of their power play goals. That means the PK units are doing quite good. The Vancouver Canucks 14 out of 15 in the series through 4 games, and the Nashville Predators 9 of 11 on the penalty kill through 4 games in this series. In the takeaway category, the Predators are at 26, Vancouver at 17 through 4 games. In giveaways, Predators also equal up to 26, Vancouver equals up to 19 in this particular category. When it comes to injuries, we're still not sure about Thatcher Demko and his availability moving forward, but we do know Spencer Stastny for the Nashville Predators is out for the remainder of this series. When it comes to individual statistic leaders for the 4 games in this 7-game series that have been played so far, Philip Forsberg paces the Nashville Predators, 2 goals, 2 points, 2 assists for 4 total points. That means he's averaging a point per game, the only Nashville Predator doing that so far. But Zucker is right behind him at a goal and 2 assists for 3 points. Nyquist has a goal and 2 assists for 3 points. Beauvillier, 1 and 1 for 2. And Jankowski, 1 and 1 for 2. You do not see O'Reilly's name. You do not see Yossi's name there in the top scorers for this Nashville Predators team. Over on the Vancouver Canucks side of things, Miller is at a goal and 5 assists for 6 total points. Besser's at 4 goals and 1 assist for 5 points. Joshua's at 2 and 2 for 4. Hughes, no goals, 4 assists for 4 points. Lindholm, 2 goals, 1 assist for 3 total points in net. That has been the most fascinating part of this series so far, the most interesting story. Let's go for the easy part of it first. Saros is 1 and 3, has an .857 save percentage, a .252 goals against average, and has made 60 saves on 70 shots against, giving up 10 goals through 4 games in the series. Now, it becomes a lot more fascinating and complicated when you start talking about the Vancouver Canucks goaltending. Demko, injured after Game 1, but won Game 1. So he has a record of 1-0 with a .917 save percentage and a goals against average of 2. DeSmith played the next 2 games, lost the first one, won the second one, has a record of 1-1, a .911 save percentage, 2.02 goals against average, and then Shelops comes in Game 4 and picks up the victory, is now 1-0 with a .900 save percentage, 3.05 goals against average. So the Vancouver Canucks have used 3 goaltenders in this series, and all 3 of them have picked up a victory. I cannot wait to find out who they utilize to win their 4th game of the series. Will it be a totally different netminder? Why not? Keep the trend going. But that has been the most fascinating aspect of the series so far, has been the Vancouver Canucks netminder situation. The Vancouver Canucks have been able and had the ability to plug in whoever they have available, and they've been able to come away with 3 victories so far out of 4 games in this series. That's got you all set up for the Predators at the Vancouver Canucks in Game 5 so far. This series has played out exactly the same as the previous 7-game series played out amongst these 2 teams, where the Predators lost Game 1 and then won Game 2 and then came back home and lost both games on home ice. The problem with that last time was the Predators were able to force a Game 6, but then dropped that game on home ice as well. So the Predators have still never beaten the Vancouver Canucks in the playoffs at Bridgestone Arena, 0-5 all-time against that team. Game 5 coming up in the series. The Preds' backs against the wall. All they can do is try to keep the series going. We'll talk about how we ended up in a 3-1 deficit. Let's go back to the Rebirth Sports full game recap, and let's talk all about what happened in Game 4.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back to April 20th, the year 2024, when the Nashville Predators were facing off against the Vancouver Canucks at Bridgestone Arena in Game 4 of a best-of-7 series. Vancouver comes into Game 4, leading the series 2-1. Andrew Brunette has to make some changes in the lineup at D, so here is your pairings and also your forward combinations. Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Zucker, Sissons, and Beauvillier, Jankowski, Novak, and Evangelista, Smith, McCarron, and Sherwood. On the defensive side side of things, a little bit different. Yossi and Fabro back in the lineup. McDonough and Shen, Luzon and Carrier. Saros gets the start in net for the Nashville Predators. We are a minute and 50 seconds into the first period, and it is Seelovs coming up with a save on Zucker. First shot on goal of the game at the 2:27 mark of the first period. It's Seelovs again coming up with a save on Fabro at the 2:55 mark of the first period. It is Besser breaking through for the Vancouver Canucks with his second goal of the series, making it 1-0 in favor of the Canucks. It was a weak side one-timer that was set up perfectly by Miller. The Vancouver Canucks now lead this game early on. Again, second game in a row scoring on their first shot on goal. At 3:26 of the first period, now Seelovs comes with a save on Philip Forsberg at 4:10 of the first period. Forsberg is off to the box, 2 minutes for interference. This creates our first special teams scenario of the game. But before the power play can even get underway, Lindholm is off to the box, 2 minutes for interference. That creates a 4-on-4 scenario for 1 minute and 56 seconds. UC Saros comes with a save on Roenick before Luzon breaks through during the 4-on-4, scoring his first goal of the series. It was a long shot with Jankowski flying by, and it ended up being changed after further review and investigation to Jankowski deflecting the puck in front. So Luzon ends up with the primary assist on the Predators' first goal of the game, which ties the game at 1 apiece. 5:49 now of the first period. It's Saros coming with the save on Garland at the 7:12 mark of the first. It's Saros coming with the save on Lafferty at 8:01 now at the first period. UC Saros comes with the save on Bosser. 10:02 just past the halfway point in the first period. Saros save on Roenick, and then at 12:54, Seelovs comes with a save on Zucker at the 13:20 mark. Seelovs comes with a save on Beauvillier in the 14:22 mark now at the first period. Seelovs goes back to work now, coming with a save on Michael McCarron, then 15:27, yet one more save, this time again on Beauvillier at the 16:19 mark of the first period. We find UC Saros coming with a save on Zadarov at the 17:19 mark now of the first period. We find Seelovs coming with a save on Carrier's drive through the slot. Great move here by Alex Carrier to generate an offensive opportunity. Even better save. The first period comes to its conclusion with a tie of 1-1 when the Nashville Predators out shooting the Vancouver Canucks 9-8. We are 16 seconds into the second period now, and we find Seelovs coming with a save on Sherwood. We go all the way to 4:30 now of the second period. We find Seelovs coming with a save on Smith at the 5:21 mark of the second period. It's Nyquist coming with his first goal of the series. It was a 2-on-1. He decided to slow things down and take the shot. He had the patience, and he also had the accuracy to put the Nashville Predators ahead 2-1 here in the second period. 5:49 now into the second period. It's Roenick off to the box. 2 minutes for holding. The Nashville Predators would not get a single shot on goal during this power play, but this is, of course, been a reoccurring theme of the entirety of the series. A strong, aggressive PK, and it was Pius Suter actually getting a good scoring opportunity shorthanded and hitting the crossbar. At the 8:32 mark now of the second period, it's Seelovs coming with a save on Luzon. The 9:54 mark of the second period, it's Saros coming with a save on Hoaglander's wraparound at the post. It was an incredibly strong save, getting the leg back and sealing up the post. It was also his first save of the second period, coming at 9:54 of the period. At 11:16 of the second period, UC Saros comes up with a save on Garland at 12:54 now of the second period. Luzon is off the box. 2 minutes for interference. It would be the Nashville Predators getting the best of the scoring chances, though, during this special teams play. Shorthanded save there on Sherwood during a 2-on-1. Attempted the same move, slow it down, and look to take the shot, but this time the stop was made. 16:35 now in the second period. Saros coming with a save on Miller at the 18:04 mark of the second period. Ed Seelovs coming with a glove save on Beauvillier at 18:36 of the second period. Seelovs coming with a save on O'Reilly. 19:21 now into the second period, and it's Saros coming up with a save on Besser. And then at 19:56, Saros comes with another save on Bosser. We see a 4-on-4 situation because the scrum on the face-off right here at the end of the second period led to 2 penalties being called. They dropped the puck again. It was a rather lengthy delay just to end up calling a 4-on-4 situation and 2 guys going to the box for roughing. So we hit the end of the second period after that lengthy delay with the Nashville Predators leading this game 2-1 and out shooting the Vancouver Canucks 20-13. So the Vancouver Canucks only able to generate 5 total shots on goal in the second period. We flip things over. We go to the clean sheet in the third period, and we find ourselves just 12 seconds in to the third period when Philip Forsberg scores his second goal of the series, uses the skate while driving towards the net to redirect off of of Yossi's feed. This gives the Nashville Predators a 3-1 lead in this game. Again, Philip Forsberg redirects it. They thought about challenging. They took a look at it, dropped the puck at center ice. It is a good goal, and the Predators have a 2-goal lead just 12 seconds into the period. We are 58 seconds now into the third period, and Seelov's coming with a save on Luzon. Luzon really working hard in this game and noticeable on the offensive side of things. The 142 mark of the third period. Seelov's coming with a save on O'Reilly at 3:13 of the third period. It's Seelov's coming with a save on Zucker. The Nashville Predators continue generating offense, looking to close this game out. 4:49 now in the third period. It's UC Saros coming with a save on Garland. We go all the way to the 10-minute mark, 10:05 actually of the third period. So we're across the halfway point of the third, and Seelov's coming with a save on Luke Evangelista. The teams are playing between the circles mostly right now. It has become a neutral zone and possession game at this point, but Vancouver is getting zone time. They're just not getting any shots through and on net. The Nashville Predators at this point in the game are playing an exceptional home playoff game. At 11:38 of the third period, now we find UC Saros coming with a save on Pew Suter at the 14:36 mark of the third. Saros comes with a save on Lafferty from the slot. This was a good snapshot right here, 16:02 of the third period. It's Seelov's coming with a save on Ryan McDonough with the extra attacker on. We find ourselves at 17:13 of the third period, and it's Besser coming up with his third goal of the series, his second of the game. It was a weak side finish. He had the time, and UC Saros could not make up the space, so he was able to finish right here. Nashville Predators still have a 1-goal lead. The Nashville Predators immediately go back to work. Good, strong shift, good pressure, keeping the puck down in the Vancouver zone. Vancouver able to get the extra attacker on and able to get some zone time here in the final seconds of the game, and that at 19:52, that's where we find Bossler getting his 4th goal of the playoffs and his 3rd goal of this game. It was the rebound tuck-in. He deflected the initial shot onto UC Saros. Saros was able to come away with the save, and then he was able to get the rebound, flipped it off the side of the net at first, but then tucked it back in with the 6-on-5 attacker that ties the game up at 3 apiece with just seconds to go. The Nashville Predators and everybody at Bridgestone Arena is in complete shock and stunned. The buzzer for regulation comes to its conclusion, and we head to overtime. The Nashville Predators are out shooting the Vancouver Canucks 30-19 at this moment in time, and it was the Vancouver Canucks only having 13 shots on goal going into the third period, ending up with 19. Most of their shots came at the very end, well, frankly, when they needed the most. So the Nashville Predators have an epic collapse on home ice in the final 3.5 minutes to allow Vancouver to get to overtime. The clean sheet, the Nashville Predators get themselves together, they get regrouped, they get ready, they come out, and they drop the puck on overtime, and we find ourselves 1 minute and 2 seconds into the overtime session with the crowd just buzzing and going wild, and the game comes to its conclusion as Lindholm scores his 2nd goal of the game. It's a game-winning goal in overtime, and the Vancouver Canucks win this game 4-3. You see Lindholm happen to be wide open, standing alone in the low slot right in front for an absolutely easy finish, perhaps the easiest finish of his career, and the Nashville Predators have one of the worst epic collapses that they have ever had in their franchise history on the home rink, and they fall 4-3, 1 minute and 2 seconds into the overtime session. They outshoot Vancouver Canucks 30-20 in this game, but what the hell does that matter in the end? The Nashville Predators played a perfect game for nearly 57 minutes, and then played perhaps the worst hockey they played the entire series for the next 4 minutes, and they gave up 3 goals against, and they lost, and they now find themselves down 3-1 in the series, losing both games on home ice. The Nashville Predators have a big hill to climb and a long road to go. We'll talk about more of it. We'll break it down, and we'll try to figure out what we can carry out from Game 4. But that is going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. The Nashville Predators fall in Game 4, 4-3 in overtime, and they're down in the series 3-1. More coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
That was the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Now time for some analysis, some opinion, then we'll get into the box score. We'll close this thing out and get you ready for Game 5. UC Saros got the start, of course, as he has in every game in this series. He went 16 out of 20, gave up 4 goals against. And you know what? It's not all his fault, but he needs a redemption game in Game 5. The fan base is starting to sour on the thought that UC Saros could take and win a series or take and win and steal a couple of games in a series and help the Nashville Predators vault onto a run. Since taking over for Pekka Rinne full-time, UC Saros and the Nashville Predators have never won a playoff series. And UC Saros in this game, while he was hung out to dry by the team in front of him, everyone takes part in a loss when you blow a 2-goal lead in the final 3.5 minutes on home ice. Philip Forsberg did score a goal in this game, skate deflection. I would say he's gotten away with it 2 times in recent games, but it is a totally legal play. It was right there on the edge. He seems to know exactly where the border is, as most high-skilled players do. So Philip Forsberg gets a goal in this game, his second goal of the series, 4 points now, point per game in the series, the only Nashville Predator able to do that so far. Mark Jankowski got a little bit of ice time in this game, and he goes to the hard areas. He gets the deflection off of Luzon's long shot. Great deflection by Mark Jankowski. And again, it was going for the flyby, going for the screen, but also getting rewarded by getting the deflection. Jankowski now has 2 points in this series, a goal and an assist. Zucker was probably the most noticeable player on the ice the entire game for the Nashville Predators. He had 3 shots on goal, he had 3 hits, and just had a level of elevated playoff competitive spirit that I would love to see out of the rest of this Nashville Predators team. He's been highly noticeable the entire series, and it may have taken him from the trade deadline till the end of the regular season schedule to get himself adjusted and fit in, but now that the playoffs have begun, Zucker is showing exactly why he was brought here, and he's performing at a pretty high level. I just wish that the Predators around him could also perform at such a high competitive level. Luzon in this game, another player that just had an incredibly high desire to compete and win. Initially awarded a goal, but then changed later to Jankowski getting the goal, so he picks up the primary assist. Had 6 hits in this game, was noticeable on the offensive side of things, was noticeable in the physical department, noticeable in the defensive side of things. I felt like Luzon had a decent game in Game 4. One of the major problems has been the power play in this entire series, and this is not the first time the Predators have suffered this type of power outage on the power play in the playoffs. 0 for 2 in this game, but here's the real kicker, and here's the real problem. Not a single shot on goal. Not a single shot on goal with the extra attacker on the ice. That is not acceptable. So the power play going 0 for 2 and not generating a single shot on goal is another one of the reasons why the Predators failed on home ice. Colton Sissons missing the empty net has become the lightning rod moment from this game. Colton Sissons hits the post on the empty net when the Predators were up 3-2. It would have put the game away, no doubt about that, but he hit the post and he missed. Colton Sissons is not exclusively the reason that the Nashville Predators lost this game. Colton Sissons did not give up 3 goals against in the final 4.5 minutes, including the minute and 2 seconds of overtime. Colton Sissons simply failed to make one play. The Nashville Predators then went on to fail to make any plays for the remainder of the game. So you cannot single-handedly blame Colton Sissons for this loss in Game 4 by the Nashville Predators. Let's just end the analysis right there because there's not a good thing to say. Let's get to the box score, let's get to the close, and let's get on out of the bunker. Let's hear from our good friends at Stripe Digital Solutions, then we'll be right back with the box score right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
Welcome back in, Renegades of Puck podcast. Let's get to the box score. Let's start on the Vancouver side of things. Victorious in this game. They did pick up 4 total goals. Bossler picks up 3 of those, gets the hat trick. Lindholm picks up the game winner in overtime. JT Miller with 3 assists. He's been having a heck of a series here. Other assists go to Garland and Joshua. Lindholm picks up an assist. Pettersson picks up an assist. And Susie down on the defensive side of things picks up an assist as well. Shots on goal. Besser had 3 goals in this game, but he also had 8 shots on net. That would be by far the high for this team, considering that they only put up 20 total shots on goal, 8 going to the player that had the hat trick. Impressive stuff right there. Blocked shots, 3 for Lindholm. Hits, 4 for Di Giuseppe, 4 for Myers, and then 5 for Zadorov, being, of course, a very difficult player, as he has always been for this Nashville Predators team to play against in the playoffs. 22-17 in total time on ice for Brock Bossler was the team lead at forward, 21-40 for JT Miller. On the defensive side of things, Quinn Hughes at 24, and I looked like he was having a miserable night, but I bet it felt plenty fine after he got out of there. 22-31, Zadorov, 20-36 for Myers, and in net, Shilov's got 27 out of 30, gave up 3 goals against in his first start in the playoffs, an in-game save percentage of 926 even strength saves, 0 power play saves, 1 shorthanded save, so 0 power play saves. That's going to do it for the Vancouver Canucks side of the box score in the ledger. Let's pick up the Predators box score. Now let's talk about it. Forsberg picks up goal in this game. Jankowski gets a goal. Nyquist also with a goal that makes the 3 goals for the Nashville Predators. Ryan O'Reilly on the score sheet with an assist. Alex Carey picks up an assist. Yossi Luzon. McDonough also with assists in this game. When it comes to shots on goal, Michael McCarron had 4. Michael McCarron had 4 to lead the Nashville Predators in shots on goal. 3 for Zucker. When it comes to the block shots category, 3 for Shen, 2 for Carrier, 2 for Tommy Novak, and that's about it for block shots. A relatively light night in that category. When it comes to the physical component of things, Luzon led the way with 6 hits. Forsberg also had 4. Shen also had 4 hits. Time on ice, leaders 22-59 for Ryan O'Reilly, 20-38 for Gus Nyquist, 19-15 for Philip Forsberg on the defensive side of things, 26-44 for Ryan McDonough, 22-29 for Alex Carrier, and 22-16 for the captain, Roman Yossi. When it comes to the special teams, the power play 0 for 2 in this game, so another batch of ineffective shifts on the power play in minutes, not even a single shot on goal from Philip Forsberg in 1 minute and 15 seconds. Ryan O'Reilly at 110 and Gus Nyquist at 105. Roman Yossi had 59 seconds. McDonough had 1 minute and 5 seconds on the power play. Shorthanded time on ice, these players got the job done. 2 out of 2 on the PK. Your time on ice leaders were Colton Sissons at 1 minute and 1 second, and then Smith at 54 seconds. Carrier had 106, and McDonough led the way with 126. In net, UC Saros was 16 out of 24 goals against an in-game save percentage of 800, 15 even strength saves, 1 power play saves, no shorthanded saves. Other numbers falling out of the box score, we mentioned the power play 0 for 2, the PK 2 for 2. The faceoff winning percentage took a big step backwards, 44.4% for the Predators game. They were at 63.3% in the previous game. That means they dropped 20 percentage points from game to game in the faceoff circle. Block shots, only 10 for the Preds in this game, 31 hits in the game. They've been in 30 each of the 4 games. They've been 34, 31, 32, 31 in the physical component, but they have been out-hit in 3 of the 4 games, including Game 4, where Vancouver had 35 hits. Takeaways at 11, giveaways at 8. Now, listen, let's go ahead and wrap this box score up and get out of the numbers and talk about the close. And the close is this. It's one thing to lose, but to lose like that, that is another animal altogether. High expectations of the Nashville Predators, worst case scenario being that they'd be tied 2-2 after Game 4, after the 2 games in Nashville, but that is not the case, as the Nashville Predators unable to hold a 2-goal lead in the final 3 minutes. The extra attacker on gets 2 goals, and then somehow 1 minute and 2 seconds into overtime, Lindholm is just left standing in the low slot all by himself while three Predators chase the puck as if they are a much less level hockey team than the elitist league in the world, the NHL. Three Predators chase the puck into the corner and then wide open in front for the game-winning goal. To lose like that, the crowd was roaring. The people showed up. They were trying to pull this Predators team over the finish line in this game, and they were unable to do so. Head coach Andrew Burnett said things change fast. The playoffs, things happen fast, things change fast, and he wants to change the narrative going into Game 5. The Vancouver Canucks have already said they do not want to get on a long flight to come back to Nashville after just playing one game on the home rink. So the Vancouver Canucks going all in to look to win this series in Game 5. The Predators going to do what they have to do to try to keep it going and at least force a Game 6. For the Nashville Predators and for Andrew Burnett, losing the series is one thing, but if they go out in 5 and if they suffer the tragic losses that they did at Bridgestone Arena in Games 3 and 4, then it's not going to be a very good feeling going into this offseason. So, redemption game for UC Saros and for the Nashville Predators, and at least give the fan base one more opportunity to cheer them on in Game 6. Once you get past Game 5, you never know what can happen in a Game 6. Then suddenly you're in a Game 7. Andrew Burnett is 100% right when he says things happen fast in the playoffs and things change fast in the playoffs. And for the Nashville Predators, they have no choice but to go change the narrative, or else the team that was lucky enough in the first year of a rebuild with a rookie head coach and a rookie GM to get to the first round of the playoffs as a wild card will simply disappear off into the summer to look to work on the second year of the rebuild, while the Vancouver Canucks will move on to face their next opponent in the playoffs. That's going to do it for Operation number 909. Op 910. Do not want that to be the last show of the season, so I hope the Nashville Predators can extend the series and bring it back to Nashville for a Game 6. So 909 in the books. That's going to do it from the bunker. I'm your hosting Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. We appreciate your viewership. We appreciate your time. And most importantly, we appreciate each and every one of you. Stick taps, love, and respect.